Alright, this is my second attempt at live streaming tonight. For some reason, I had multiple times where the stream was freezing and then outright seemed to just, like it was running on my end, but seemed to just not be going out to anybody. So I'm restarting the stream. Really quick, I'm going to go ahead and try to find it here so I can monitor it, as well as rename it so that it makes sense. Oh, I should have copied and pasted that. Alright, so let's do this. Do I have to open? Oh, I need to do that to edit the video. Okay, it looks like I'm out. Hey, we got Duja, we got Kyle. Thanks, guys, for sticking around and trying to join back in the stream. Yeah, unfortunately, everything was running on my end. The first time it said it lost connection, and I like reconnected. This time it didn't say that. It just was running. So appreciate that you guys left some comments that it froze, and then it seemed to just be kaput. Just wasn't going out to anybody. But we're back. So Kevin just asked me how I did at Eager, and I was just explaining tied for second place and split last cash, which I believe is going to be something around $15, maybe even a little bit less. Excuse me. But it was a good MPO competitive experience. The win was just brutal, particularly for the last round or the last card, the second last two cards of the day, which was my brother and then me. My brother played great. We're really struggling out there in the wind on several shots. So it was unfortunate that we weren't able to compete quite at our best, but we still were able to take the top couple spots. Okay. We have you guys hopping back in. Thanks for rejoining. I'm going to go ahead and retitle the video, but I'm going to check that it's running correctly. Looks good. I think it's good. Let's see. What do I call this? Guess I'm not good at talking and typing. That should be good. See if we can get back to the video to monitor it. That's not helping. Okay. All right. Looks like everything is working correctly for now. Maybe. Okay. Hey, Sam is hopping on, says, hi, buddy. Sam, thanks for hopping on and joining us. I believe that this is my buddy Sam, who I played, gosh, we've played at least like 30 rounds together, a couple of tournaments together, including the Chain Hawk Open in Florida. It's me. Tux is back in black. Yes, the USDGC doubles being what it is. Sam and I played some great disc golf and some great Charlotte disc golf too. Renaissance, man, that was a fun round. We make a pretty good doubles team, but Sam's not local, so I had to go with Brent. It's too bad. It's so sad that I had to deal with Brent for a whole USDGC doubles competition. Sam says, got to come down next year. Heck yeah, you do. Doc says, Sam, spill the tea on Brad. Oh, you're gonna go back quite a ways. Sam and I went to the same elementary school together, so you might get some insight on Brad from a long time ago. For context, Doc is some old dude who throws Innova dragons and thinks that they're the best disc ever. Sam says, I got all the tea. Oh my. This is bad. Well, I appreciate you hopping on. We had some issues with the stream, so everyone who's jumping on or transferring from the first stream for no apparent reason, the stream was just freezing. It happened once, and I was able to reconnect on my phone. I couldn't do anything. Everything looked like it was good on my phone, which is what I streamed from for my video, and there seemed to be nothing I could do. So I cut the stream, boom, and here we are, stream number 2. Confusing for everyone? Yes, I'm sure that it is. But thank you for hanging out and being here. Alex says, what kind of lawnmower do you have? uh, electric lawnmower. It's very quiet, but the battery doesn't last super long. Because I do love my dragons. Yeah, Doc loves his dragons and his shoes. The man sent me a box. He sent me a shoe box. Ugh. A box full of shoes. And I'm supposed to do a shoe review and give them away one day, Doc. Alex says, I'm all electric. It's definitely solid, but it has its advantages and disadvantages. Gas is just a harder hitting lawnmower that lasts longer and probably a little bit more reliable. The electric is quieter. It's much quieter. But you got like 30-minute battery, at least for ours. Doc says, Brad, if it keeps happening, maybe check your quality. Make sure you're not broadcasting in like 4K. I think I always try to broadcast in 4K, especially with the back-facing camera. The front-facing is only 720p, but I believe I'm either 1080p or 4K with this lens. I'm not sure. It may or may not get all out there in 4K. Alex says, gotta get a better one. Mine does 1.5 acres. Well, 30 minutes does 90 to 100% of the yard. Sometimes it putters out with a couple of strips left on the side of the house. Sometimes it gets everything. So, not worried about it. 90-minute batteries, yeah. Yeah, the lawnmowers, you never know. Sometimes the gas lawnmowers are just so like they cut so much better, but I'm sure that they've really improved electric mowers to be a lot better than they used to be. They used to be kind of crappy. The off-brand batteries are a lot cheaper. Probably what we have are off-brand batteries. Probably. I don't know that for sure, but that's probably what happened. So definitely didn't play my best disc golf today. It wasn't bad. I had a couple of good putts, but just kind of squeaked in over that cash line and tied for second place out of 5. Took home a couple bucks, and hopefully we'll get myself some Taco Bell. Alex says, never go back to gas unless I had like 20 acres. Yeah. I mean, growing up, we had like, what did we have? I guess we had about an acre, and we just had a gas one. It was fine. But I would definitely do a rider mower for like 5 acres. I wouldn't do push mower for 5 acres. But that's what I have now. It's just an electric push mower, so it's fine. Pretty quick. It's definitely light. That's one of the best things. It's very lightweight, which is very nice. Doc says, not anti-gas, just bothers me. How they smell. They're not as, they're heavier, not as easy to use sometimes, for sure. But, got an electric rider, superb. Oh man, that probably does work pretty well. Sounds pretty fancy. Yeah, I have never used an electric rider mower. Just have an electric push mower. Gas has more maintenance issues. With the shoulder, the pull cord breaks, Doc. Yeah, that's a good point. There's definitely a range where, especially a good condition mower, the pull cord is going to be just fine. But sometimes it can be a real struggle to get it spinning enough to get things moving with the engine. I've also done very low tech where you push the mower and the blades spin. And they get caught on every little twig, every little stick gets jammed into those dull spinning blades, and you're just trying to push mow, and it just slams into your sternum. And you're like, just trying to get the lawn mowed. It's so annoying, and it is just worthless, completely worthless. I'm sure that the electric rider is a good, very useful mowing experience for sure. Have you guys been watching the Pro Tour Championship this weekend? Did you see Calvin's round 1? I want to bring spoilers into the final round. I was able to actually watch the end of it live, which was pretty cool. I don't watch live disc golf often, but I was able to catch the last few holes after my tournament round, and it was fun to watch. Um, there's some, from what I heard, there's some drama already with the final round, and then going to the last few holes, it's like, whoa, what just happened? So you gotta watch. You gotta watch the final round of the Pro Tour Championship. It's worth watching. It's a fun. There's just a lot going on, a little bit of drama, so I recommend it. Sam has been watching. Awesome. Yeah, and you guys know a little bit about me and my favorite pros. So it's still not too much of a spoiler because of who's in the running. I've said I liked, all the people who end up near the top. But I'm pretty happy with the outcome, and it was very enjoyable for me specifically, me personally. I'm sure others would be disappointed by who didn't end up winning, but it's been quite a fun watch. Doc says it's nice to be able to turn off the lawnmower, do something, and not have to restart it. Yeah, that's true. Although normally it starts hot pretty well. Sam says, "Go Vinny, dude! I'm always rooting for Calvin, and I just got. Funny enough, I didn't have an Innova disc with me. I had him sign a Brave, but I had him sign it and then put major winner Calvin Heimberg because you guys heard me before he won his major. I predicted on air on live stream. I said Calvin's going to win his first major. It's happening this season." And he's going to win again. He's going to win more majors. And I predicted this season he'll win a major, and he'll not just only be a one-time major winner, but Calvin's going to come back and win more majors in the future. And so I said that, and I handed that disc to him, and I said, I knew you were going to win a major. I'm so happy you did, and I'm just really excited for you. He's Calvin, so he's like, oh, thanks. Whatever. And it was great. He's very kind, but it was just a quick little chat, and he signed it major winner. So I was like, yeah, awesome. I got major winner Calvin Heimberg signed a disc for me. It's pretty cool. I've had him sign discs in the past, but of course he hadn't won a major yet. Great impression, LOL. Yeah, I can do it for like one word. I'm not an impression guy. Sam does great impressions. He does a great Calvin. He does a great Gollum, of course. Classic one. Doc says, "Isn't this the bush cutting time podcast?" Oh, yeah, no. See why you needed a dragon? An Innova. I feel like I would be insulting Calvin if I handed him an Innova dragon and said, "Can you sign this for me?" I feel like he would look at it and just go, "Buddy, I'm just gonna take this from you and burn it and save you the time." I would actually. And I wish that I had prepared. I was coming from Tennessee to the USGGC competition directly, so I didn't have time to come home. I only had the discs that were in my car, and sadly, I absolutely would have snagged my Calvin Heimberg Destroyer, had him sign it, and tell him, "It's no problem. You're signing it because I have no business throwing this anyway." It's quite a disc. Doc says, "Brad, don't scare my dragons that way." All I can think is. Oh, wait. I walk up to Calvin, I try to hand him this, and he just vomits. That's all I can think is he just throws up. Doc says, Calvin and Gannon impression, kind of the same impression. Yeah, their mannerisms are very different. I would say their voice has some kind of similarities, but their mannerisms are very different. And the mannerisms, nailing someone's mannerism really helps you stand out in a good impression. I don't do good mannerisms, but if you really get into it, you can really get some good like voice acting in. Is that DX plastic? What are the flight numbers on that thing? Yeah, 100% DX plastic. The hardest disc on the planet. It just hurts to grab it. It's an 5 -22, and I would say that this thing flies like an 8.4 -4.1. This is the most just out of your hand. You just want to poke your eyes out so you don't have to see the rest of the flight. Terrible disc. But Doc likes throwing them over water. They do float, but I think they were made to float because there's such bad discs no one could get them over a water carry anyway. So they pretty much said these discs are so terrible that they have to float, or else they're just going to sink to the bottom of every disc and be an environmental hazard. I think this is the only disc I have that's worse than the Dragon. It is the Yakun Jiao. I think I said I was going to give this to somebody. Who do we got? Do we have Kevin or Stefan here? Probably not. I think I said that I was going to give that to somebody that I was playing with at the horse course. I don't remember. Roller disc. It doesn't even work as a roller disc because it gets to edge and it flips over too quickly. You can't even use it as a roller disc. It's so bad. Dox is great for around water. Takes a real man to throw a dragon. Don't feel bad. You never threw a Wahoo? Is that like the chocolate drink? The Yahoos? Yeah, it's so bad that you can't even lay down a roller and have it keep rolling. It is just an instant stand-up curl. It just doesn't go anywhere. I've tried the Zhao, I've tried the Dragon, and they just don't work. They just don't work. Wahoo would make you love the Dragon or a mermaid. Yeah, I don't throw these discs that you're listing out. I've heard of a mermaid, but I've never heard of these discs. A Wahoo. Who even makes that? Franklin? Is that a Franklin disc? Yeah, that's okay. I'm pretty content with, you know, actual manufacturers that make real discs that, can sometimes get into the bags of professional players that are actually useful in getting birdies. But I guess, play your game, I'll play mine. That totally works. Innova, there I go. Talking about bad brands, and this is Innova made disc. Brad hating on Innova, I knew I was going to get that right away. I mean, to be fair, Innova DX is meant for people who can't throw hard enough to break them. Discmania Mermaid. That looks pretty interesting, actually. Does it have a really weird rim to it? I'm guessing yes. I really want to see the bottom of the disc and see what shape the rim is. Hello? Does infinite discs work? Okay. Interesting. It's not that flippy. It's a beginner disc that's not understable. Oh, it's a -1, too? Okay, I think that flight path is just wrong. Yeah, that has no drift to it at all. I don't know if I believe that. For the mermaid, by the way. It's consistent, slightly overstable flight with a little turn. Interesting. Reviewers. Oh, it's an $8 disc? Oh my goodness, that's so cheap. Mermaids Discmania, not my cup of tea, but I'm sure some people love them. Do you see the bottom? I can post a Discord. That'd be great if you could throw that on there. Yeah, I can't find a picture of the flight plate underneath for the mermaid. That's a firestorm. That's not a mermaid. Wow, the images for Innova Mermaid are limited. There are not that many. And 2 of them are Pirates of the Caribbean mermaids. That's funny. Cheap is why I like the Dragon. Used to get them $8 shipped. Gotta find my phone. Yeah. The problem with cheap, though, is other than for putters, which you tend not to lose unless you throw them at hole 17 at USDGC, straight over the basket into the water, never see it again, is that you're not throwing away $8 discs. You're actually using them for a long time. But data ranges and $8 drivers, you hit a couple trees and on to the next one. Which is why some actually great, premium quality discs can last 4 years with the same flight path. Paul Danto says, right on, congrats, way to go, pro. Thank you. It's definitely a small scale step into the MPO division. Funny enough, I have done a lot better competitively in MPO, and I just turned down cash. But now that I am done with the amateur division, it is my first time accepting cash, and a little it is a fun little to say I have stepped from amateur into the professional division. I cashed in the first tournament that I was planning to accept cash if I do cash, and I'm happy that I was able to make it happen. It was close. A couple of big putts, including a 33.5 foot par save putt in the wind to keep my 7 down score for second place. Managed to do it. Very happy about that. So I really appreciate it. I feel like in some ways it's been a long time coming. I was considering accepting cash in December last year after I won the Chainhawk Open in MA1. I said, amateur, I think I'm ready for MPO. And at the time I was thinking, do I want to accept cash or not? And I thought, well, maybe I want to do AM Worlds. And I moved to Charlotte and I started doing MPO for big tournaments, MA1 for like the local C tier chain reactions point series. And I've been happy doing that, but I've been kind of itching to jump into the MPO division for a while. And after AM Worlds, I was like, okay, USDGC doubles, I'm done with amateurs. And funny enough that I have the doubles shirt kind of marks that step from doubles into being a professional disc golfer, and I'm very excited. Johnny West says, move to New England. Nobody plays disc golf here. Good news is the disc is great. Yeah, well, that would be a disc golfer's dream in two different ways. But I'm very happy with Charlotte. Everybody plays disc golf here. It is, in a big sense, the disc golf capital of the United States, and the access to great courses is almost staggering, and the level of competition is both good, and the involvement is good to produce circumstances where it's worthwhile to compete for money if you're a decent to good disc golfer. So I feel like I fit in there, just kind of stepping my toe in the professional division today. But I'm excited to just keep competing in MPO and see how I do with my consistency of making the cash line. And if I can take down a couple of good wins, then I could really, if I can put together some great rounds and win, could really take home some good Taco Bell money. Definitely is the area for it. But I will say in Florida, I did feel like I was competitive MPO right after I won the MA1 A tier, the Chainhawk Open. I know I'm pointing at this sign, this trophy over here. I felt like I was MPO competitive in Gainesville area, Jacksonville area, which there's some good disc golf. I mean, Garrett Gurthey is from Gainesville. His home course is Northside Park, where I played 40% of my disc golf while I lived in Gainesville. But also the competitive level, definitely not on the competitive level of Charlotte MPO. And so shifting from there to Charlotte has been a bit of I need to still take that little step up to really compete well in MPO here. I think I'm close. I think that I will be playing pretty well in MPO, but I feel like I still need to learn a lot of the courses better. I feel good about several courses like Scrapyard, like Wing It. I feel decent at Renski. Bradford I feel good at, but there are a lot of courses where I just haven't put in enough rounds to feel like I'm ready to compete here for the win in MPO, like Hornets, like Nevin, tough courses, and I don't feel like I know them well enough yet to confidently step up and be like, I think I can podium. But I think I'm headed in the right direction. There's just so many courses to learn, and I feel like I still just need to keep going. Sam says it's the unofficial disc golf mecca. Charlotte is awesome disc golf. I miss it. It is just next level. Like it, there are better courses all across the world, across the United States. Maple Hill is a better course, for sure. But the amount of still high quality disc golf courses in such a condensed area and the competitive scene, it's hard to beat. It's really hard to beat. Video of a cop trying to use the disc as probable cause for searching a car. I mean, depending on the state. Self-confidence says you look very professional. Thank you. Appreciate it. I hope that I look off-brand professional at the very least. Feeling pretty good about the tournament today, although definitely was not my best competitive, abilities or anything like that, but pretty decent. Not too bad. So I'm glad that I was able to manage a tie for second place today. Hopefully, moving up into the future, I'll be earning a little more cash and not just covering my entry fee and then earning a couple more dollars. Doc says, was second your highest cash? I don't necessarily know what question that is. I've won an MPO tournament in Florida and I turned down $110. And then I took 6th place in the Charlotte Roar Open when I got to play with Yuli on lead card. And I ended up beating Yuli, taking 6th place. I turned down $150. So those are definitely my cashes that I not regret. Watched slip away. That was tough. And then I had a couple of like $20 to $50 caches that I rejected. And then I kind of stopped playing good disc golf and had, until AM Worlds, almost nothing very noteworthy throughout the spring, summer. That AM Worlds, thankfully, I was able to really turn it around and compete really well, which was good timing, I would say. That was good timing. Was this the second highest cash you took the money? This is the only time I've cashed and took the money. I still am not quite sure exactly what you're asking. This is... Yeah, I don't know what you're asking. Landon says, my real name is Jack McFlower, but my mother wanted to make my email a fake name. Well, now you told everyone your real name, but appreciate you being here, Jack. Thanks for stopping in and saying, introducing yourself. We have Doc trying to type here. Starboy says, love you all. Thanks for hopping on, Starboy. Doc says, I thought you won a tournament and bought Taco Bell with it. Oh. Very important distinction. That was not MPO. That was unsanctioned. So I have won an MPO tournament, turned down cash. I won, or not won, sorry. I turned down the 150 for 6th place. And then I turned down cash a couple more times. But any time where I've won money, it was not MPO, it was an unsanctioned tournament. I've taken first, second, place and won some money in unsanctioned doubles. I've done it in the point series finale twice now. I took first and took second in 2 point series finales in Charlotte, the chain reactions. And I'm trying to remember, I think there was an unsanctioned fundraiser in January last year where I took $26 or something like that. I think I just took an Emperor, a signed Emperor from Garrett Gerthy, instead of taking the cash because I wanted them to not have to pay out. They were fundraising for touring, and I was like, $26, how about I take that signed Emperor? And they're like, yeah, we'll keep $26. It's perfect. So, yeah, those are the circumstances. Unsanctioned events, not an, well, I think one of them was MPO, but they weren't sanctioned MPO. I wasn't competing as a professional. I was not accepting cash and rejecting my amateur status. Only today have I accepted cash as a professional disc golfer instead of an amateur in a sanctioned event. Doc says, okay, got you. So this is your highest cash you took. Way to go. This is the only cash that I have taken as in a sanctioned event, but I've won more money in different circumstances. Yeah. Doc says, and Jack, what is your birthday in SSN? Don't answer that. Rackle Owens, Rachel says, has there ever been a tournament where you didn't have anyone able to film every time? I've had many tournaments where I didn't have anyone able to film all of my shots, and only like 2 of my tournaments has everything been filmed And shout out to Rachel for filming everything in the Chainhawk Open for my MA1 A-tier win last year. Um, Also, I credit Taco Bell in between every round for that win as well. So shout out Taco Bell. But Taco Bell didn't film me. They didn't show up. So I appreciate that and am happy that that is on my YouTube channel so that I have that permanent record. It's been cool. I will be back in Florida for the Chainhawk Open in, gosh, now month and a half. Just a month and a half. And I will be competing in MPO for cash. And if everything goes really well, I'll make a lead card coverage and get filmed. But I would also love to have my round filmed separately so I can post it on my YouTube channel and not have to rely on Terry Miller catching every angle. Or maybe Ace Run Productions is trying to do it this year. Sam says, you're really after that Taco Bell sponsorship? Yeah, they just don't seem to hear me, but we'll get it there one day. Doc says, Sam, I hope he gets it. Doc says, but chat, if we got any other older guys, a lot of us with hand issues seem to favor the dragon, just something about the plastic. I mean, I would think that you have a good point that as you get older, you might be more interested in the Innova Dragon and other discs like it. I think as senility increases, disc choice aligns more with the Dragon and other bad plastic. So I think, Doc, you do have a point with that, and I think I'm on board with age correlating with those bad decisions. So I think that's definitely a good insight from you. Taco Bell would be a nice little dream sponsorship. They wouldn't have to do hardly anything. Enough. They'd probably be like, hey, you need to mention Taco Bell like 4 times a month, and I would be like, 4 times a day, already done. Rachel says, if you do end up needing someone else to film, totally on board to film you winning for the 2nd year in a row. That would be an absolute dream. That would take 1,040 rated disc golf in the professional division. But I'm really gunning for like top 8, top 5, because I don't know the second course we play. The first and third are Northside Park, and I do know the course. I do feel like I can prep in a week to be ready to compete there. Legacy, that's going to be tough. That second course is new in Alachua, and I have not played it. I have been on the property before. I used to warm up at Legacy Park where they put the new course in, but I have not played any of it. So I need to get some practice there. I'm excited to see how I can play and hopefully get more practice in than some of the in from Sweden. Garrett's going to be there, of course, and other people. So hopefully I'll be there. Doc says, I think Steven would prefer him to film Brad. LOL. I don't think Steven's filmed me at all. Sam says, this will be the first time in 3 years I'll miss the Cho. I've been coming down for 3 years. Yes. 3 years in a row, Sam and I have been able to play the Chainhawk Open. It's always just so fun to hang out, caddy for each other for 8 holes, get to our own round, have a caddy for 9 holes at the end of it. It's been a blast to be able to hang out like that. Your heart broken, but it's gonna be okay. I think it'd be unfortunate timing anyway, because the divisions we'd be playing in would be different courses and probably similar times where we'd be playing, so we really wouldn't be able to see each other. It is such a great time, and I'm trying to remember. I definitely filmed a few great shots. Sam, did you eagle 15 at Northside? Was that in? No, that was in our practice with Chris, I'm pretty sure. But I filmed a couple great shots from Sam, birdieing some of the hardest holes at Jonesville, like hole 12, that almost nobody is getting that birdie. It's just a good time, good memories. And New York Pizza Plus, just a massive cheese pizza, steaming, delicious. At least I like the cheese pizza. Doc says, Brad, can you send Sam a shoe? Well, I'm going to see Sam next week. Yeah, next week. So this week. Yeah. I could, but no, I don't think Sam needs a shoe. That thing would corkscrew in the air for him. Sam throws 450. Flight Medic says, nice job caching. You're the man. Thank you. It was just a 5-person field, and it was a pretty short course. And I tied for second, which is the last cache. So I scraped it out just a few dollars. But hey, caching is caching. Technically speaking, now I am a professional disc golfer. It's really cool. Definitely nothing like somebody on the Pro Tour, but it's exciting to take that step. And maybe I can snag some Taco Bell. A7 says, hey, handsome, I guess you've been talking to Kyle, wherever he went. Sam says, yeah, I eagled it with Chris. It's on camera. Yes, I pulled out the phone and caught that, 60-foot putt for eagle? That was wild. I think that was with the eagle, the Greg Barsby Tour Series eagle that I gave you. Doc says, hate to hear it, Sam. Yeah, in all fairness to Sam, Sam is a very talented disc golfer who doesn't have a ton of free time and, can't practice disc golf like I can. And I think if Sam could and had put in practice the amount of playing disc golf as me, I think Sam would be a 1,000 rated disc golfer. I think that he has capabilities of being on the Pro Tour. Unfortunately, both of us needed to get into disc golf earlier, and at a time when we had more. I still have time because I'm pushing so hard into YouTube. But if we had just been disc golfing together in high school and post college, man, we'd be pretty darn good, I think. Or maybe we'd break an arm and never play again. I don't know. Doc says, haven't bagged one in months, but I'm sure they're still great. The shoe, yeah, they don't stop being good just because they're not in your bag. Sam says, can't wait to see you. Yeah, dude, I'm excited. Hopefully we can get a fun little round and a little distance lesson, maybe on camera. Maybe teach Brad how to throw 450. 500 would be great too. I'll take 500. With my T-Bird. Oh, the blue T-Bird. I think I ended up giving that to Devin and he lost it. I wish I still had that T-Bird. That was a good disc. Kyle says, I'm still here, be glad. Glad you're still hanging out with us, Kyle. Flight says, do you see any change in confidence or the way you play changing to MPO? Changing in the way I play, yes, because I'm aware, roughly speaking, of the cash line. It used to be that I was either competing for the win or competing for my rating or both. And now I'm competing for cash. So I'm happy to look at scores and say, for instance, okay, my cash line is 7. I need to go 7 down. I'm 5 down with 6 holes left. So that helps me think I just need 3. It also helps me think what holes are my birdies and what holes are probably pars. And do I need to play a safer shot to preserve that 7 down mark? And I basically did this going into 17 and 18 today. I was 7 down, tied for second, which is the last cash. And yes, I wanted to take solo second and not split the cash, take it all for myself. Yes. I wanted to do that, so I wanted to birdie, but I chose my disc for the last 2 holes to make sure that I was not too far off the fairway if I messed up, and I didn't throw OB on 18, which would be throwing too far. So I actually had a flippier, faster disc I could have thrown on 18 to give myself a better birdie chance, and I disced down to the sole, which made the birdie harder. Oh, there is a storm coming in. Well, that is some windy rain. So it made the birdie harder, but it made the par more likely, and I did take the par. So there's a little difference of strategy basing on the cash line versus maybe being more aggressive for my rating in certain ways that I was kind of hoping for in MA1. Good question. I would also say there is a level of confidence too, because I used to compete kind of just for rating and wins, and now that I'm competing for cash, I think when I'm not going to be cashing, I'm still going to be able to frame it as I'm still competing against other professional players. There's a lot of talent here, and missing the cash is reasonable. Somebody has to miss the cash. I'm missing the cash. bummer, but whatever. I'll still do my best for my rating versus when there's no cash to compete for and I'm not playing my best. I feel bad in MA1 when I underperform because maybe I could win if I played my best. But in MPO, sometimes my best isn't going to be good enough, and that's fine. So I think there's a little less pressure in a way, but of course the competitive level is higher, so there's a higher pressure if I'm in position. Sam says best disc you had, rip any disc given to Devin. True. That's very true. Doc says, yeah, if I had started before 38-ish. Devin sounds like he needs a dragon. Oh my gosh. That dragon would fly, and then it would be crippled for life. Do you guys hear that rain? It's got to be coming totally sideways. It's just slapping the window out there. Flight says, such an underrated disc. Always have one in the bag. Just found a pink one in the used bin. It's my baby. Oh, I need a soul of the same plastic that I have. I have other souls, but they don't quite have the same flight path as my blue one. I'm lucky I haven't lost it. Oldest and longest living disc in my bag. The day that I lose that soul, I lose a lot of shot shapes. I already lost my white Echo, which was a reliable, understable Echo. I've borrowed a couple others to try to replace it from a couple of buddies. Thank you guys, Steven and Kyle. Different Kyle. But yes, it's hard to lose that disc that does that exact shot. And that soul is just such a good part of shot shaping, especially in the Charlotte Woods. It's just so key in hitting certain lines, especially if you don't have a forehand, like me. Doc says, wish we had a used bin around here. All right, Sam says, gotta head out. Good to chat for a bit. Thanks for hopping on, Sam. Appreciate you, and I will see you at the end of the week. Looking forward to it. Doc says, had a nice disc golf store, but the guy moved. Oh, that's a bummer. Someone remind me to add a room for Sam to drop in stories about Brad to Doojit. For the Discord, yeah, a server or a Discord, yeah, server, whatever. Sam says, I'll drop one tidbit before I go. Brad used to be mean to me. We were mortal enemies who became great friends. Yes, that's true. But I didn't think we were going to talk about last month. We threw rocks at each other on the playground. We were not fans of each other in elementary school. We weren't buddies in middle school, high school, but we were in the same friend group, so we were much better. But really, post-college, just kind of, you're a full adult. You've matured so much more, and it's been really great to be disc golf and gaming buddies and just be able to hang out and be good friends. Sam says, I wasn't innocent in that either. It's true. It's true. I told my mom that Sam was a bully. I remember that. Kyle says, lucky Kyle, too bad it's not me. Power, okay, says, all right, Brad says, Sam is the best friend you could ask for. Oh, man, that's so kind. Sam is pretty close to the best friend you could ask for, too. See you this weekend, man. Yeah, Sam is definitely the best friend you could ask for. He's such a legend. Sam, what is he paying you? I wish I could pay Sam to be my friend. Power says, I extremely, with all my heart and with every hatred, despised Jesus, Holy Spirit, Yahweh, and all his followers. Despised or despise? Because you make it sound like you used to. But then it seems like you still despise all of us. But as a Christian, I hope that you change your mind. I care about you. I love you. I hope that your life is full of prosperity, happiness, and peace, and that you find Jesus and appreciate all the blessings that he has given you. If I could pay Sam to be my friend, then he would be down here playing Charlotte disc golf with me. I wish. I don't necessarily wish that I was rich, but I wish I had money to pay a just buddy of mine to be my caddy. If I could just pay a close friend to just caddy and film for me and just compete in disc golf, that would just be, that's like the dream. That's the dream. I would also caddy for him, but that would just be like That'd be so awesome. Like Yuli paying Brad Hammock to be his full-time caddy and travel all over with him. And then, of course, Brad's playing a lot of disc golf too, but his true days are mostly past him. But yeah, that'd just be kind of the ultimate disc golf dream. Doc says, I've actually known some Satanists. They were nice people. I've listened to them, they listened to me, and I just hope the way I live made them consider trying out my beliefs. I'm glad that that was your experience. I worked at a kids' camp, and we had Satanists that were praying for horrible things to happen to the children of our camp. So I definitely had negative experiences with Satanists because, as a Christian camp counselor, they were genuinely hoping that children got injured and hurt at our Christian camp. Gimme says, have to log off. Thanks for being here, Brad. You're always a great person to talk and listen to. Appreciate it, man. And always appreciate you being in the chat and hanging out. I just am so blessed to have such a good disc golf community with the everyone here. And running into people in the live streams that are totally new, who just kind of become part of the group. Like Doc just popped out of nowhere one time, and he's been here ever since, and that's so cool. And just seeing people out has been just awesome. Kyle says, I would volunteer to be Sam's understudy, and pretty athletic, just a thought. Yeah. Sam's understudy, that's great. Yeah, you're in the Charlotte area, you want a caddy, you let me know. I'll give you some free lessons, or if you're better than me, then you give me free lessons, whichever way it ends up being. Doc says, I did work in daycare, there were a few. Yeah, some children are something else. Hey, Blaze is here. What's up, Blaze? Thanks for hopping on. How are things, Blaze? I am looking forward to Cho. I wish that I could be there for all these prep tournaments that I'm seeing. Tyler Searle is with, what's his, Soar Disc Golf. Soar Disc Golf runs a lot of events and is part of a lot of tournaments. Tyler and his brother are really awesome, and they have now shifted to Florida. It's something that I really miss is catching all of his events that he would run, and to know that he's involved with the Chandhawk Open and prepping and ramping up to it. So hopefully I'll be able to show up for the prep tournaments week before and week of Cho, whatever's available. And then as well, maybe if something's after Cho, or maybe that's the Fox Flyers that might run something after Cho. Anyway, I'm very much looking forward to some time around the Chandhawk Open. It's going to be awesome. Back in Florida for a bit. Hopefully it's not 50-degree rounds, 40-degree rounds in the morning. How miserable was that? Blaze says, can't wait to see you down here. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. Doc says, Brad, honestly, if you're alone in the woods with Steven, be careful. I'll make sure I have other people with me. Trey Clifford says, did you play a tournament in Virginia this weekend? No, I did not. I only played a local tournament here. I was not in Virginia. Was it the Go Throw? Or what was that in Virginia? Doc says, Blaze has got a cart now. Let him carry a bag on it. I do have a cart. It's such a significant thing. It's so funny. Oh, gosh. Kyle. I'm just going to skip that. Yes, the cart is great, but mild downsides. The way that I put it in my back seat, it's hard to put it in the trunk or in the back seat in a way that stores well and doesn't bend the water, what are carriers, whatever the things are, excuse me, on the back of the Zuka. That's a little bit of a downside, a little bit of a bummer, just because of the design. It's hard to just put the cart with the bag in it. It's hard for me to get my bag in and out of the cart because it barely fits in. I didn't tell Brent a size or anything or what type of bag to try to fit in the cart. So as it came in with the order, it's a great cart, but my bag doesn't 100% perfectly fit it. So it's fine, but because of that, I was storing my cart on its back, and it bent both of the water bottle holders, and now my water bottles kind of rattle a lot. So it's just a little bit annoying, a little bit frustrating that I already partially broke something in the cart. And then I do want like a putter pouch thing because it's a little hard to access the putters. It's underneath the seat portion, and even if you lift it, the bar is blocking the putter pouch because my bag is a little too tall for the cart. Still great, but yes, definitely his back would break. Definitely a mild inconvenience that obviously there are putter pouches for that purpose to help keep the discs out of the bag. But yeah, it's been great having a cart. I don't feel as exhausted after rounds. I feel like I have a little more energy. And I think for practice rounds, it's going to be really nice to have something to sit on and be able to roll back into another round of practice if I need it, or just do extra throwing and not have to keep picking up the bag and putting it down and picking it up and putting it down. Christmas asked for cash, get a new bag that fits better. Maybe. My personality is use it until you can't. So I think that's what I will do. If I beat you at Legacy, you should have to push me from 18 to my car. How far is that? Like a half mile? Doc says, I've been considering what would happen if you could have a backpack, but it like pulls out to a cart. It would be very heavy. 200 feet? Okay, 200 feet is fine. So Legacy gets pretty far from the car for the back nine, right? But it loops back. 200 feet is fine. Yeah, I'll agree to that. What are you throwing at Legacy? Are you doing 8 down, 7 down, 8 down? I'm excited to play. I'm excited to try out Legacy. Doc says, yeah, but you got the old bag for some courses and cart for different courses. Yeah, no. I'm pretty much permanently putting the bag on the cart, and then if it's just impossible to use the cart, yes, I'll pull my bag out from the cart and use it. But I have a feeling that's going to be pretty rare. Even non-cart friendly courses that I have played, like I've seen my brother use his cart. Even toboggan, I think I would cart over bag, even though bag is probably better overall. But I'm not in a hurry to play toboggan. That's for sure. Blaze had a 7 down, 6 down, 4 down, 2 downs, and a countless even. Interesting. Do I need, what do I need to work on more? Distance, making long putts, or placement shots? What's most important for Legacy? Given that I can throw like 370 pretty accurately, generally speaking. What's most important for Legacy? Being a better friend for Brent? Placement. I like to hear that. I like to hear placement. That makes me feel a little bit better. If you said distance, I would say oof, but Charlotte trains placement, so I know it's not going to be the same, but I have a feeling that Charlotte has done a, generally speaking, good job of preparing me for the Legacy style course. We'll see. I have a fun little story. 2 nights ago, not last night, terrible sleep. Just couldn't sleep up until 3:30 a.m. Not trying to be, just trying to sleep. Then I had a commitment to play the horse course at 8 a.m. So at 6:40 or whatever, I wake up, like 3 hours of sleep, feeling terrible. Played really pretty well at the horse course. Ended up that my doubles team ended up winning. Then got some food, came back home, had to cook dinner, get everything prepped and cooked in a crock pot for the next couple of days. I didn't have any time to cook today. So I was glad that I was able to do all of that. And then as I'm like, I need to take a nap, Brent is texting me, hey, are you coming over at 4:30 like we planned? And I went, oh, shoot. I'm sorry, Brent. Yes, I'll be there at 4:30. I have 23 minutes to take a nap. As I lie down for my nap, my buddy starts texting me over and over and over. I said, I set a timer for 23 minutes. I turned my phone on Do Not Disturb. Slept until 5 or 6. I slept until 5 p.m. Poor Brent, is like, did Brad get in a car accident? Like, what happened? So he calls my brother. My brother comes over and wakes me up because I I can't answer my phone. I'm on do not disturb. I can't hear any texts, and I was so groggy. I was so tired, but poor Brent was waiting for me to show up. Frank like texting me, calling me. Finally, I start heading over there. But the good news is I beat the food delivery by 1 minute. So I was able to park the car and then grab the pizza and take it to the backyard. We got to hang out on his mini course, which has 27 holes that he's designed, several of them with Mandos and all of them with Hazard in play and a couple of OB, and had a blast. So it was great. I did wish that I gotten there on time, but maybe I should be a better friend. Um, Blaze says distant helps, but placement will get you birds. Birds, all I need. All I need are. I just need to either play well to stay as high up in MPO as I can, or play well on camera if I manage to make coverage. Fingers crossed. But that is good to know. Good to know. Doc says the horse course, of course, and his name is Mr. Ed. Okay. Don't get that. Whatever. I'm too young. I'm usually not too young for stuff. There is a flyover of the course. Oh, and Cam Disrespect did he played the course and did a review of it. So he does a little course review. So I should definitely look at the flyover and look at his round to prep a little bit. I think I'm going to be in Florida a week early, so I should be able to get multiple legacy practice rounds in and maybe a good 2 rounds at Northside. Have there been any... Oh, Doc's cat is typing. Hi, kitty. Thanks for hopping on and joining us. Blaze, I know there were multiple changes at Jonesville. Have there been course changes at Northside, or is everything pretty much the same? Doc says, LOL, she's chasing a moth. I knew it. I knew that was your cat. Is this the cat that you would not name Artemis and you refused to name Merch or Alan because you hate puns and you hate fun? No Northside changes? Okay. I feel mostly confident about Northside. I feel like I've played so many rounds there. The only problem is my bag is so different than what I was throwing when I was playing Northside a year ago. I lost a lot of discs. Hurricane is gone. My best Echo is gone. My best Enigma is gone. Yeah. But I also feel good about some discs that I put... Oh, and I lost my Insanity. My best Insanity I lost as well. But I have the Wild Honey now. Went with Honey. Should have went with Wild Honey. That's the full name. Full name is Wild Honey. So when you're mad, you're like, Wild Honey, you get over here. Yeah, so hopefully I have a little more distance for Northside, which just helps with a couple of position shots. But I also feel better about certain shots, like 14. I always kind of struggled to get it to the basket, not past, not short, but also not hyzer flip too much. Now the Zone SS, I think, is the disc. It's the disc. I used to try to flip up the Soul. I used to try to throw the Echo. Zone SS, I think, is the disc. Just put it on the rope, let it drift a little, hit the circle, make the putt, move on, take the easy birdie, I hope. But I'm looking forward. It's been so long. It's been so long. I wonder if I'm going to throw too long on 11. Check a straight OB. Probably. All right, let me see. 9:13. Okay. Even with the technical difficulties, it's been over 2 hours. I'll go for a little longer, but I'm getting up there. Hit 30. Can't stream as long as I used to be able to. So a couple more minutes and I'll jump off. So make sure you ask any pressing questions, any burning thoughts that you have. Type it out so we can chat about it, but I'll be hopping off in just a few minutes here. But also thank you everyone for chilling and hanging out, commenting, or just listening. It's been great. Can't stream as long, but stream more often. I mean, I stream the same amount, but I don't know if I want to stream more often. I need to um, restart my gaming stream because I stopped it for a match play, 10-week match play event, whatever tournament, whatever series that ended a couple weeks ago. So I see, old man joke. I got it. Streaming multiple times. Keep a lookout. All the Foundation fans dropping their Zone SS after the Ace race. Oh, good point. I do want more than just my Z Flex ones. I do want other Zone SS's. I need one that won't drift. I love the drift on the Zone SS, but I want one that's great. That'd be great. Prepare for elevation at Legacy. Okay, that's good. I haven't done a ton of elevation training, but I've done more elevation in Charlotte area. There are a few courses with it, and of course toboggan. So that's going to be helpful compared to what is normal for Gainesville. North side being very flat. But I have also just in the field at like up the hill by the road, by the entrance to the left. So I've done some of it. John Cena says, what's your favorite Indiana course? I have not played in Indiana yet. I've played Illinois, Michigan. Yeah, that's it. No Ohio, no Indiana yet. I'll have to get there someday. Rachel says, if you had to rank your top 3 favorite soups, what would they be? Favorite soup is the cheeseburger soup that I make. It is my top soup. I hate making it. I love eating it. It's number 1. Does mac and cheese count as a soup? If so, my homemade mac and cheese is number 2. I won't count it. Pretty good enchilada soup that I had recently. That might be number 3. Potato soup is really high up there. Honestly, Olive Garden soup is quite good. Pasta fagioli, minestrone or whatever. Those are pretty good. Those are all fighting in the top 5. I'm not sure if I know. But my cheeseburger soup is number 1. Potato soup, cheesy potato soup is up there. Doc says tomato, tomato, tomato. So plain. You can love tomato, but there are other things. Nose down overstable is your friend. Winds can be very strong. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I am less trained in windy throwing. Fact Frenzy official says, hey, I was working and watching YouTube, saw you were live, figured I'd join, but it was cool to meet you at USUGC last week. Hopefully see you at another tournament sometime in the future. And shout out Fact Frenzy for saying hi, just out and about at Winthrop, walking around between 16 and 17, and he came up and said hi, introduced himself. I forgot what your name is, but I was like, he's like, I want a disc from you. And I was like, oh, nice. What was your YouTube name? He's like, Fact Frenzy. I was like, hey, Fact Frenzy official. I remember you want a disc from me. So that was really cool. We were able to just connect for a couple minutes and chat. Fun. And I'll just, definitely throw out there. Anybody, if you recognize me somewhere, I'd love for you to say hi. I have no, other than obviously if I'm in the middle of competing in that moment, I'm probably not open to, chatting and taking a picture together or something like that. I know I'm not that famous or anything, but love to chat, would love to talk a little bit and see how you're doing. And if I have plenty of time, we'll get around it. Come out towards foothills, a lot of elevation. Well, I've been playing elevation shots in Tennessee. Warrior's Path and Wing Deer, both very like up down elevation shots. Not massive distance, but definitely accuracy with elevation. If I make mac and cheese from powder, I do like adding extra milk, make it kind of soupy. That turned out well. Mac and cheese does not count as a soup unless you're making some weird mac and cheese, says Rachel. Okay, fine. Anything can be soup if you believe in it. I don't know. Similarly to sandwiches. Okay, I get it. What are your thoughts on is cereal soup? Rachel's asking Doc. I think soup has to be warm. So if you want to heat up your cereal, then it's soup. It's breakfast soup. Doc says, hot take on sandwiches. Bread has to be in 2 pieces, at least to be a sandwich. Sub is not a sandwich unless bread isn't connected. So if you take a sub and you just cut the bread so it's disconnected, it is now a sub sandwich, but it wasn't before you cut it. Okay. Cereal is toxic, is a toxic desert killing us all. I mean, to be fair, I feel much better when I eat my normal breakfast sandwich, ham, egg, cheese bagel. The bagel's not like the best thing on earth, but it's a good, pretty healthy breakfast versus a couple bowls. There are a few good cereals. Raisin Bran is solid, definitely has some good like fiber, raisins, not too bad. Lucky Charms, not good for you as it turns out. Shockingly, doesn't matter if it says multi-grain on it, it's not good for you. Turns out it's a lot of sugar and marshmallows are not healthy. Delicious though. Chocolate Lucky Charms, really good. Doc says, "Hey, we're all dying." Oh, Doc says soup needs to be hot. Doc and I agreeing on something. Whoa. Fruity Pebbles. Gotta love that lead. Lead in cereal, is that true? No, it's mostly iron. There's mostly iron in cereal, but maybe there's lead in cereal. Cool. Fruity Pebbles are pretty good. We agree on a lot. Those times scare me. Yes, terrifying. All right, guys. Anything else throw it out there, but otherwise, it's time for me to have my. Speaking of cereal, I didn't eat my full dinner before the stream because it's so hearty. I wanted to eat it after the stream, so I've got my cowboy beans ready, and I just had a little bit of cereal before the stream to get me through it. Super healthy, I know, but I'm looking forward to my full-on dinner. Very excited about the delightful cowboy beans. Great show. Places. Bye bye. Good night. Awesome. I will catch you guys again soon. Oh, probably a good time to mention I'll be at a ministry conference with my family's ministry in Wisconsin, and we're traveling on Sunday. So I will not be able to stream on Sunday. I don't know if I'll be able to stream. It's a Day conference. I don't know if I can replace next week's stream. So you might catch me making a stream announcement, but it might just be 2 weeks. So I'll let you guys know for sure about that. But I will be back in 2 weeks. So catch you guys later. Nachos. I had nachos and cake. I can't talk, says Doc. Kyle says, good night, handsome Brad. Have a great week. We'll see you next time. Stay blessed. See ya, man. Toto Boy says you have about 123. I believe I have, was it 250 or 350 discs that I have? I think it's 250. Is it 250? I had 255, right? I have about 300 discs, I think. I've gained a lot of discs since I had 250 or 350, whatever it was. 257, thank you. Good memory, Doc. So I have pushing 300 discs right now. And they are not frisbees, these are disc golf discs, as opposed to a frisbee meant to be caught. Disc golf discs are meant to be thrown for playing down the fairway toward the disc golf basket to try to play disc golf. Okay. If you can't, can you drop a post to YouTube? Yes, I'll try to. If I can or can't, just made up the number. Great. Thanks for your support, Doc. But yes, I'll post whether I can or cannot stream. I should be able